Well, this is it, I guess. Feels very different from the last time I left Galawain's tusks. I will say, it's nice to look out and see Solace still standing. Thanks for that. Me neither. I guess it never gets any easier.
Solace is still standing. And so are you. We're in this together.
Just so you know, Kai, it's starting to sound like you like me.
If you happen to need a reminder, do let us know. Brooding in silence can be quite the mood killer.
Not to spoil the moment with good news, but I doubt the rest of the island has been quiet while we've been looking for the garden. Things have only gotten more tense since Fjord, and the Steel Garrote probably hasn't been doing us any favors on that front.
Especially when they're led by a woman who doesn't seem interested in staying dead. Not to mention, after we take care of the Envoy's little god problem, we'll still have an empire bearing down on us.
And what? Lie low? I hate to break it to you, but you don't have a face for blending in.
Can't say I'm too excited about just walking into the garden. I grew up learning I needed to protect that place, but it never felt like more than a children's tale to me.
I hear you. This island is weird enough when all we have to worry about are vengeful plans and soul-altering corruption.
Am I the only one who's looking forward to the garden? We're pioneers, stepping into the great unknown, a land of mystery.
We have to remember to love them in spite of their lack of proper enthusiasm, dearie.
Can you imagine? An untouched spiritual wilderness just waiting for us. I have a theory about the garden, or a warning, depending on how you want to look at it. Sapadal has been imprisoned a long time. The garden will be a reflection of their dreams, their nightmares, their madness.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw visions or hallucinations, and not even the fun kind. Anytime, darling.
Before we go any further, I have to ask you something. You told the Inquisitor that you intend to kill Sapadal. Is that still the plan? For once, I'm all out of ideas. Anyone else?
I'm a soldier. I prefer leaving these decisions to people like you, but if you're asking for input, I don't entirely disagree with Ludwig on this. She may be a monster, but she's not the only one the Living Lands has seen. Sapadal could render this whole island as barren as the tusks in a fit of anger.
Sapadal caused the Dream Scourge. All of this pain. I don't think I can forgive that. Especially after seeing Iancu. I just can't let that go.
Think of what we could learn from Sapadal. Perhaps there's a way we can keep everyone alive.
Sapadal is responsible for the spiritual health of the Living Lands, and the island has suffered for it. No matter what the Inquisitor said, I don't believe there's a right or wrong choice to make here. Just the one you believe in. Putting an end to Sapadal's imprisonment, one way or another. Remember, we're stepping into a realm that is both physical and spiritual in nature. If you can call it nature. There's no telling how long we'll be gone. For all we know, time could run backwards in the garden.
Not a chance. We're a crew now, so you're stuck with me until the end. Marius?
I told you I'd be with you till the end. I don't go back on my promises. What about you, Giada?
You're not going into the garden without me. I have to see this with my own eyes. Yatsli, if you feel like running back to Quilici, now would be the time. No one would think less of you.
And tell Quilici that I missed out on the most exciting part.
And you don't have to. We pull together, and that's plenty.
I plan on wandering the garden whether I'm traveling with you or not. I have to find out what the big deal is.
Agreed. I'm not waiting in camp while the rest of you have all the fun. Hope to see you out there, Marius.
Well, let's go then. We can't keep your god waiting.
Marius, could I examine your soul?
Oh, no. You'll use none of it.
Looks like a dead end.
Stand back. Is he really? Feeling I'd actually like him.
We make a good squad.
Coming in hot.
Must be a better way down. You first.
Don't look down.
Kai, you've killed people before.
Good evening to you, too. And, yeah,
Have you ever been haunted by one of them?
well, the first has always stayed with me. This was in Deadfire. We were boarded by valiant privateers in the dead of night. One moment, I'm asleep, and the next, I'm staring down the barrel of a pistol. It misfired, and I ran him through before he could try again. But I'll never forget the look in his eyes as the light faded out of them. Is that what you wanted to know?
Oh dear, not exactly. When I said haunted, I meant, have you ever seen a ghost before?
Once, at sea, I heard moaning coming from the ship's lazarette. Never went down there again.
Noted, thank you. Do you need to talk about, you know, the dead privateer? Because I have time.
I think I just need a drink.
A breath held. You're so brief, we wonder. The stream, Dash? You have defied our expectations at every turn. Perhaps we should not have been. Stop. No, we must recall, plumb the depth. We would whisper in the fields, lift the hills gently in our hands. Disturb the dirt, but spare the blooms. Shake vengeance denied, squandered. This cannot be. We spoke of growth. We speak of freedom. Wake now.
Walk like a top.
I see the disciple has found his way into the cell.
No. Clarion Steel. We know this voice. Why is she here?
I am everywhere my tools have mouths to speak.
Out. Out. Her voice pierces our skin.
Look at this place. A quagmire of your parasite's worst instincts. Can you even begin to grasp the forces that you tamper with? Apparently, I must. The situation is worse than I perceived. Do you think you're special, with your god's thorn in your side? Do you believe you can hold dominion over chaos itself? When even the collective fury of the real gods could only confine the sniveling creature to this wasteland. You couldn't possibly believe we would not intervene.
It is true. She twists the knife. The seas run red with memory.
In time, the gods felt the wretched powers seeping through this land. Its madness would consume us all if it was not contained. Chaos has no respect for borders. It goes where it will. A pity that its followers could not be reasoned with. Of course I did. The poor godless, worshipping the very thing that subsumed them. We could not excise the rot and spare the roots that nourished it. A regrettable consequence of a necessary war. I have no time for the lamentations of heretics.
Why does our prison not protect us? Help us! Silence her!
Listen to its tantrum. It knows neither order nor sense. Adir is the only thing holding back the tide of entropy. The answer is obvious to those with the courage to accept it. You are here now. There's still time to succeed where Ludwig failed. Face your false god and end its reign of terror permanently. Very well. I cannot force a child to bend to my will. But I will not stand by and watch you undo my work. You should have thought more carefully before you broke your oath to the Empire. Let this be a lesson to you.
Never understood Wodika's appeal. Still don't.
I never thought I'd learn of the Godless's fate from their killer.
Yeah.
I liked it better when they were dead.
What is that? I know that place, right? Oh no. No. Why is this? They're dead. Like it just happened. Like I remember.
This is the moment I found you, bundled and crying, while our parents died.
Viate. You're not here. You can't be here.
I am dead, Viate, from the Dream Scourge. We are in the garden. As strange as this seems, it is normal here.
No envoy. I don't know much about this place, but I know this is where I need to be. Oh, I have faced this already. Why force me to do it again? Right. Okay, I can do this. Let's get into it.
You know where we are. This is my memory. When everyone died, and I found you back in your tent. How much of this do you remember? I can't tell from your eyes.
We dealt with Razvan. He got what was coming to him.
Sapadal wants to understand. They know your envoy very well. but not the people next to them.
I have what I needed. We dealt with Razvan. We avenged our parents' deaths.
Then maybe it was I who needed to speak with my Viate. With a clear mind this time. Even when we were children, you kept me alive, first by needing my protection, and then by being who you turned out to be. When you left Solace, it was like I lost more than my best friend. I lost my need to live.
I know. And I'm not sure I'll ever live that down. I don't think I know how. Right. You're right. We don't have time for this. And if we did, you know blessed it well, I'm not falling for the sack of Sokka. So, what do we do now? Well, that answers that, I suppose. We've both been through so much. But I can see that it's all behind us now. Just another thing we've survived after all this time.
A fine way to put it. I see it too. You've come a long way from that scared boy who refused to wear shoes for fear a bug might crawl out of it.
That was you, Nimdut. Look at my feet. Shoes. Kamayu.
Get out of here. Hike up your waistline and go talk to a god. They'll be waiting.
Well, it was good to see you, Kiyate. Even with all this.
Take care of my little friend, Envoy.
Nice job, everyone.
Marius, dear. How are you feeling?
I'm alright. Good to see an old friend, you know?
And saying goodbye, that's the hard part.
You can talk to us, Marius. That is, if you... Talking will help.
Obviously, it wasn't my favorite thing, but...
Grief is strange. You lose someone. What a massacre.
Just like the good old days.
Isn't that Tama's cannon?
You seen this too? No. No. This can't be. This room. It looks just like Tama's. Tama. No. No. I dealt with this. We stood at his memorial together. What is this, Envoy? This is your God's prison, not mine. It feels like I'm standing on a storm-tossed deck. I can't focus on his face. His features keep blurring, changing. As long as we're both seeing the floating islands and the ghostly tree, I can't blame this on drugs. To be honest, that would be easier. I know it's him, but I don't recognize him as the Tama I knew. It's like he keeps changing in front of me. Does that make sense? That's the problem. I don't know what I expect anymore. I used to remember his face so clearly from that night. His rigid jaw, the way his eyes crinkled at the corners. He was in pain, but trying to hide it. I did. Sounds downright selfish of me when you put it that way. But this Tama's more than that. All his moments at once, joy, sadness, anger, heartbreak, stomachache, everything from the handful of years that I knew him and the decades before we'd met. He's almost a stranger. Yeah, it is. All this time, I kept him frozen in his worst moment. When he was suffering and when I failed him. But now that I see him as more, it's like he's free of that. It means something's finally got through my ridged skull, despite my best efforts. You're right. I am. It's like you said. I was so focused on my shame that I forgot about everyone else who was counting on me. I won't make that mistake again. We've spent long enough with my past. I never thought I'd meet someone I respect the way I respected Tama. But you've made some tough calls, and you've kept your head and your heart in the right place. So whatever comes next, I'm with you until the end. Now let's go find this god of yours and end the Dream Scourge. When we reach them, what do you think we'll find? A victim? A villain? True enough. Let's end this. I'll follow your lead, as always.
Here it comes.
Ready, aim.
Next one's mine. Yeah.
Child's play.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Or am I going mad? Can't we take a closer look? Please? What is the meaning of this? It can't be real. This is an illusion. A joke. Tell me we're both seeing the same thing. I hate it. Why am I cursed to see this again? Why does the memory follow me wherever I go? They have a sick sense of humor. Whoever is responsible, I'm tired of the bullshit. Step forward and answer for yourself, coward!
Godlike of Sapadal, long have we awaited you.
Finally, you've come home.
It's not just me, right? The plants are talking.
Oh my gods. They're alive? I can hear them, but not with my ears. It feels like someone hitting my soul with a tuning fork. How? Where would I even begin?
Giada Castel, welcome.
Wait, you know me? How do you know me?
For centuries, our whispers filled the silence. Then we heard your mother's call.
My mother? You heard her?
She reached out to us, using the tool you now carry.
But that would have been years ago. The first time she used the phantasmal focus. The only time she used it.
We heard, and Sapadal answered, saying in a great voice, "We are here. You have found us."
But when Sapadal speaks, the living lands trembles. The voice of a god can be a terrible thing.
No, this can't be. What exactly happened to my parents? Tell me, please. I need to know.
Sapadal wanted to be heard, and in so doing, twisted your family in body and soul, broke them into a more suitable shape.
Sapadal does not know the limits of their strength. Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made? Do you have any idea what my life has been since your little mistake?
After the incident, your parents were like us, and we took pity, so we helped them move on, as they wanted.
In the end, they thought only of you, their pride, and their love.
That's it. That's really it. The answer I've been searching for all these years. Sapadal destroyed my family. Indulge me a moment. I've been waiting a long time for this. One final question, spirits. What is this? Why are you trying to ruin my life again? Is this your way of haunting me? What is it you want?
Not to be pedantic, but that was 4 questions.
We want to apologize on Sapadal's behalf, and for the part we played in your sorrow.
They want to apologize. I came to the garden for answers, not to offer forgiveness. Easier said than done. Damn it. I can't believe I'm about to say this. Sapadal has been trapped here for millennia. Alone. Confused. Screaming into the void for anyone who will listen. When they heard the voice of a stranger, they overreacted. How can I hold that against you? Apology accepted.
Thank you, Giada. And thank you, Godlike, for bringing her all this way.
The time has come for you to find your patron, as you were meant to. Our purpose draws to a close. A long rest is assured. May the living lands receive you with open arms. Farewell.
Goodbye. We need to talk about this, but not here.
Give her space, dearie. Giada will speak more when she's ready.
Hey, Giada. How are you holding up after seeing them? Incredible.
Sea Off is in its heyday, in its full strength. On the left!
Yahtzee, remind me not to make you mad. Yeah.
I'll never understand the Achilles love for dead
Starting to think these people take
Let's take a break before we continue.
Safe to assume that the large glowing door is part of Sapadal.
Nice of someone to mark that spot for us.
I think we've found Sapadal's home. I'm not used to quiet. Seems like we've drawn a crowd.
Take your best shot.
Looks like the gate's open. Well, what are we waiting? Waiting for?
Keep your guard up. We gotta live to tell this tale.
After so long, you are so small, we questioned if you were real. Then steps, a voice, through armies and corrupted soil, you persevered. Now, you are here. The rot. We feel it festering and spreading. What is it but an extension of our pain? Your dream scourge will end when our suffering does. We were innocent once. We woke, and we wanted nothing but connection. But the other gods imprisoned us, left us to suffer alone in this place. But you are here now. You found us, a sprout in the endless winter. There is little time. We would be freed from these bonds. The Strangler is close now. We feel her wire against our flesh. She begs for our blood. Her wolves defile the city on the shore. Blood on the tile. The people's cries ring in our ears. She pierces us now. Now, we will not brook this. Not again. A spark. Wait. The essence bends here. Time flows into itself. You can reach her. Will the garden to open. It will take you there. A mountain of essence. We strain, but it will move for you. We were everything. What have we lost? What multitudes could we contain? We could run, leap in the water, flourish in forgotten hills. We mourn our past. We only seek peace now. A chance to regrow. We hear your words. We do not desire it, but we hear them. You met death, and you offered your hand. We would like to think you were kind. Give us peace. We want a chance to change. We deserve that opportunity. And yet, you trusted the mage who turned so many souls into kindling. We deserve more than this prison. Let us have a chance to rest. We want peace. Or do you have no more mercy for us than you did for the bear? Yes, we long for this too. The time has come for you to act. End our pain, and the dream scourge will cease. Give us peace. It is all we have wanted for so long. So be it. It has been so long. Our leaves curl and brown. Despair bleeds through the land. End it. Silence. Stillness. We are done. Unsown. Peace.
Andra's depths.
It's paradise.
Are we back in Dawnshore? Already?
That must have taken an incredible power. Beyond all mortal understanding. How do you feel? Glad it's not just me. Unfortunately, we don't have time to recuperate. Whatever happened back there, it appears our work isn't finished yet.
Are you seeing this? I don't think Paradise looked like this when we left it.
Looks like the war already started, and the giant roots are winning.
Marius, vines don't usually get that big this quickly, do they?
Based on their growth and size, I'd say we've been gone 2 or 3 weeks. Welcome to the Living Lands.
Who knows if the garden affected time, or merely our perception of time? Assuming there's even a difference.
It's like how a body fights an infection. The fever gives you strange dreams that feel like an eternity.
Look at this place. It feels like we're still in the dream. And not just us. Those are more your people's ships in the harbor, and steel garrote banners past the barricades. That can't be good.
Even Reingrim is here. Perhaps we'll get to see an Archmage in action.
I think I see Elia as well. What a strange reunion this will be.
The Blessed Wardens are here too. That conflict we've been trying so hard to prevent started without us.
If he didn't start this himself.
The Steel Garrote have been itching for a fight this whole time. This would have happened with or without us.
Before we go, what happened back there with the Dream Scourge and Sapadal?
Glad the Dream Scourge is over, but I can't help but think killing a god will have consequences.
I'm sure it wasn't easy, but I think that's for the best, Envoy.
I can't believe Sapadal is gone. For better or worse, the spiritual health of the Living Lands depended on them. What now?
We took out the Dream Scourge and Sapadal in one fell swoop. Quite impressive, really.
Some problems just keep rearing their ugly heads no matter what you do. Good news is, we've gotten pretty skilled at dealing with them.
We should take a look. See if we can get ahead of whatever storm is brewing down there.
People seem to be gathering west of here. Whatever's happening, let's be a part of it.
Sansa. How did you make it out?
They marched in with no warning. Envoy! What does the Garrote think they're doing? It's an out. They broke some glass, but they didn't think I was worth the trouble.
Right now, that's a good thing.
If you're looking for survivors, a few of us fled to the Balrog.
How many?
I'm not sure. I saw Sapiento. God, I hope they're not trapped in there. I am sorry I can't be more help. On the very first page.
We should move. Let's hope the Garrote hasn't made it to the Balrog yet.
Envoy, wait! Before you go, I may have something for you. I took some supplies when I ran. If you think they'll help, they're yours. I'll even give you a discount. You know, for saving the city and everything.
What happens in Dawnshore shall ripple across the...
Yeah.
Envoy? Is it really you? Mihala told us you went into some place called The garden to seek a god?
When you didn't return, we took you for dead.
What did you see there? The god you felt in Nakutadek?
The origin of the Dream Scourge? It was the act of a god this whole time?
Everyone, please, please. We could get to the bottom of this if you would only let them speak. It's been weeks, Envoy. What happened?
Sapadal was responsible for the Dream Scourge. Their rage, their confusion, their fear.
But the plague isn't over. Dream Thralls still litter Shatterscarp.
There won't be any new infections. We've put a stop to that for good. Unfortunately, there's little we can do for those already in the grip of the Dream Scourge. We can give them comfort, nothing more. This will be a process. The Dream Scourge was never going to simply go away overnight.
I suppose it stands to reason. I found that a quick fix is often anything but.
What of this god, then? What does it mean that you destroyed them?
Ludwig had intimated that this land grew a new god. But how can that be?
Giata and I have some theories about the nature of the Adra in the living lands.
I'd say we're past the point of theorizing.
If the Adra here is a closed system, like a terrarium for our souls, then a gradual accumulation of essence could coalesce into a being in the beyond.
Much like the formation of gemstones. All it takes is time and the right application of pressure.
Wodka no doubt saw Sapadal as a threat to her authority. So, she killed the godless and imprisoned their god.
I assume it is this god we have to thank for the roots tearing apart Paradise? They erupted from the earth the moment those bastards stood up their first siege tower.
Nakutadek was riven with those things, not to mention what they did to the land.
We saw similar destruction at Nakukubel. If these roots and the Dream Scourge are the work of a god, and the gods saw fit to cage them, sounds like the Envoy did the Living Lands a favor in destroying them.
I can't imagine how one goes about destroying a god. But I suspect you've done us all a good turn.
Sapadal was something new in the history of Eora, and you destroyed them. I cannot begin to fathom the loss.
Sapadal was Nandru's patron god. With them gone, what does that mean for the Wardens, for legacy?
The devastation of Shatterscarp was the fault of this infant god. Can't say I'll miss him.
Well, whomever takes this island in the end will live in freedom from fear of a resurgent plague, thanks to you. But come, we have more pressing matters to attend to. The Steel Garrote have attacked Paradise. Inquisitor Ludwig has already joined the battle. She must have traveled like the wind to get here so fast.
You did. I kicked her corpse when you weren't looking. Just to be sure.
Well, she's seen better days, but you wouldn't know it judging by how she fights.
Ludwig's plowed through the militia like a knife through warm butter.
All right,
Let's keep the similes to ourselves.
Oh, cheer up. You wouldn't be the first to make that mistake. Might not be the last either, depending on how things go. So long as her passion for Wodica lives, so too will her spirit.
Then we destroy her faith, and the rest of her will follow. I have a theory about this. Let's talk at camp if you want to hear it. But I think we can kill her.
Oh, good. That will be easy.
It is not, I think, impossible. Well, you might not believe me, but I didn't want any of this to happen. It was Ludwine who called for the attack.
I didn't hear an answer, Ambassador.
She and her steel garrote laid siege to the city, shortly after you beat her to the garden. Well, that's been a point of debate. We can't agree on how to stand against the steel garrote, nor who should lead the effort.
Nobody wants to risk their people at the front.
So you let the Paradis militia go it alone?
Even if our meager forces should make it inside.
The siege won't end until Ludwine does. And none of you know how to kill her.
Precisely.
Because a victory here would discourage resistance elsewhere. The better question is, why didn't you stop her?
Excuse me? She's a 7-foot-tall skeleton powered by her devotion to the goddess of retribution. This isn't my fault.
Sure. Just blame the dead woman. Very mature.
Who else should I blame exactly? Our envoy, perhaps? For not stopping Ludwine and the Tusks?
You could start with blaming your own incompetence. Why are you treating him with kid gloves when Paradis cries out for help?
Enough. I've heard your concerns. We cannot change it now.
The Inquisitor was so convinced the Living Lands would unite against Adir that she's nearly made it true. One people, one law, one true God. That's Ludwine's vision for the Living Lands.
I can't wait to see how you weasel out of this one.
I know it will. We are leading by example, returning order and dignity to Paradis in the wake of the Clavager's death. We will do the same to the frontier, given the chance.
Where was order and dignity when you burned Fior Messivernal?
My administration had nothing to do with that, as I know you know. Adiran rule and rule by the Steel Garrote would be markedly different beasts.
Spoken like a fucking diplomat. Splitting hairs when it all comes from the same head.
Order and dignity. That's what you think we're missing? Bastards! All of you!
You will take it all, whether the chance is given to you or not.
I've answered your questions. Now I would like you, all of you, to answer mine. Ludwine has sent a message to the Emperor informing him of her attack. He will send advisors and reinforcements swiftly in response. What will his representatives find when they arrive? A new colony? A budding grave room? Before you face Ludwine, you should know what you're fighting for. All of you must decide, together. But whatever you decide, understand, the days of the frontier are done. Adir will come. Indeed, we are already here. Oh, Envoy, no. Do not suggest that lightly. Think of the Emperor. There would be reprisals. Ones which this conclave could not survive, fractured as you are. Not unless you came together and formed a nation of your own. It would be difficult. No, impossible. I'm certain you would fail. Think of your people, all of you. Think of the lives at stake.
We deserve our autonomy, even if we must fight for it. Anything less would be surrender.
Fleeing someone else's laws and authority is one thing, setting up your own is another. We're an island of misfits and dissidents. We'll still have to surrender some of our autonomy, and we won't agree on what that means overnight. We'll be vulnerable. Without allies, other powers will see us as ripe for the picking. Know that this is a hard road to walk.
We were fine before Adir came. We'll be fine when they're gone.
I think we ran things perfectly fine before your kin got here.
Though I'm hardly eager to work with any of you. I like the idea of twisting beneath Adir's boot heel even less. So long as the Wardens can continue our vigil, I'm open to uniting if you are.
It's a nice idea, but consider the costs. If we walk away from a relationship with Adir, we're leaving a lot of trade on the table. But the people of Thirdborn have friends in the world. I'm sure we'd find our way through.
With the Envoy's support, we'd have a god's power in our pocket. What could the Empire do to stop us? Together, we could repair Fjord and create such miracles of animancy the living lands will become the envy of the world. It would be the honor of my life to stand with my people beside you all.
Of course. You can't be serious. You'd stand with the Steel Garrote?
No. Don't tell me you're bending the knee to the ones who burned my city.
Don't do this. I followed you to the ends of this world. We all did. But I won't follow you here.
No. If you do this, you better say goodbye, Envoy. I won't help you sell out my home to that Korba.
I thought you were smarter than this, Envoy.
The Wardens would sooner die than kneel before the Steel Garrote.
The Living Lands will not suffer a zealot's rule, and Thirdborn has cannons enough to prove it.
How many lives are you willing to forfeit for this benighted path to power?
No one will stand with you if you do this thing. What in Remagon's eight blasted hells are you thinking? Trust is a fragile thing, Envoy. You will only get to make this choice once. Choose wisely. The Living Lands would retain its own laws under a grave appointed by the Emperor. The grave would be expected to promote and develop the Living Lands to our mutual benefit. They would divide the island into administrative districts and see them governed by mayors appointed from the local communities. The island would provide tribute in the form of resources and taxes, and in times of war, soldiers. The Empire, I should note, is nearly always at war. In return, the Living Lands would enter Adia's sphere of influence, and should outside nations attempt to invade, we would come to the Grave Room's aid. Naturally, that would be the Emperor's decision. But I suspect he would choose you. Only the strong survive the frontier. I used to believe that was Ludwig. But you were born to rule here. Quite literally. Come now. You didn't get this far on heritage alone.
We give up our fighters and the wealth of our lands, and get promises in return. But we have wealth enough to give some away, if it means my wardens may return to their vigil in peace.
A grave room could work, so long as trade keeps moving through the Scarp and you're willing to serve as our go-between envoy. And we'll have cannons enough to deter the adherents from trying anything stupid.
When the Empire demands its tribute, from where will it come? Emerald Stair is not the breadbasket it was, and the dream of yore is now deferred. If we accept this deal, I fear we are building a trap certain to catch our own legs.
Tribute, he says. Taxes, soldiers. The Empire has tried it all before. Look to the Eastern Reach if you don't believe me. They want to bleed us dry, to fill their coffers and fight their wars, to break us like wild animals. But I will not bend.
It's still a gamble, but I think it's the safest bet. We get the benefits of Imperial trade and protection without losing all of what makes this place special. There's no way of knowing what it would mean in another generation or two. But right now, it gives us the security and stability to recover.
We were fine before Adir showed up, and we'll be fine when they're gone. Trust the lands and her people, Envoy.
If we give Adir power over us, we can't be surprised if they decide to flex it later.
Of course.
Excellent question.
You have seen more of this land, and met more of its people than any of us. Your opinion is informed. You were empowered by the Emperor himself to investigate an impossible problem, and against the odds, you solved it. You entered a poisonous garden and killed a rogue god. And in our dealings together, I found you to be a person of substance and conviction. But mostly, it's because you're a Diran, so I trust you. And these fine people here are going to do whatever they like if they don't agree with you anyway. Well, don't leave me in suspense.
Oh, gods have mercy.
Solus and her wardens stand vigil with the living lands.
By grit and steel, Thirdborn stands with the living lands.
Fjord and her animancers stand with the living lands.
We deserve this opportunity. Thank you for believing in us.
Fighting a battle together is easy. I just hope everyone's willing to stick it out when it comes to the politics.
God, they made the right decision for once.
Finally, some sense permeates the proceedings.
On your head be the consequences. That leaves the matter of Ludwine and the Steel Garrote. She will never surrender, Envoy. You must kill her, or we will lose Paradis, and eventually the island.
The living lands will never be free until we break the chain around our necks. Ludwine must die her final death.
She better say her goodbyes while she can.
I'm proud to fight at your side, Envoy. One last time.
Let's get to work then. We've got a walking corpse to bury.
The Paradis militia will be at your back. Give her no quarter. The future waits for you.
Thank you for deserving it. Now, go and teach the Steel Garrote a lesson they will never forget.
Show them that the living lands will not be broken across Vodka's knee.
We will send reinforcements to help you reclaim the Eastern Gate. From there, work your way to the main plaza. May all the gods of Eora and the living lands protect you.
Let's take back the city together. Show the Steel Garrote how the living lands takes care of its own.
Time to stop the Steel Garrote. Lead the way, Envoy.
Let's go free a city, shall we?
There's always a weird sort of quiet on the eve of battle. I'm feeling that now. Seems like a good time to gather our thoughts and share a drink before whatever's coming.
Right. This seems like a perfect place to stop and relax.
Though it's hard enough to tell what's real here without a belly full of drink.
Sounds like you're nervous, dearie.
I'm feeling all kinds of ways. Anxious, excited, scared, hungry.
I feel it as well. It is only mortal to feel overwhelmed in the presence of the immortal.
Let's take this in for just a moment. Against all odds, we've survived the living lands, crossed an acid sea, and reached the prison of a god. When we first met, I didn't think you'd last long. But then I saw how you handled that dream thrall bear. Shook off your own death like a bad cold. And then you confronted your own killer and let him go. Takes a special kind of strength to stay your hand in a moment like that.
I didn't know much about you at that point. You were traveling with Kai and you died, which I thought made a lot of sense.
I remember your calm, how you listened to my shouting match with the governor, and actually heard me. And when they burned my home, you gave me another one. A sanctuary where I could be myself. I'll never forget that.
You were my hero right away. You rescued me from those sporlings. You got my priceless face. What more could a girl ask for?
And now look at you. Look at us. How far we've come in a short time.
Oh, did your heart just grow a little?
Not to raise the sails before the anchor, but we left trouble in our wake. Fjord, Thirdborn, Solace. If we make it out of here, it won't be to a living lands suddenly at peace.
Just this once. Could we forget about the rest of the living lands? Some of us could use a break.
If we can't take a moment to ourselves on a floating island outside reality, then I don't know where we can.
Right. We could all use some beauty rest. We'll want to look our best on the battlefield, won't we?
Before we turn in for the night, I'd like a word in private. Nothing serious, just planning out the rest of my life.
Sleep well, my friends.
Hold it. Is that all you got?
I was worried for a second.
Down here.
Has really gone downhill, hasn't it?
Who's ready for more?
We'll be lucky. The fighting has to stop.
hang back and watch the gate.
I'll teach you!
Just what everyone needs at the end.
Either your mate...
Barely. Survive. They flatter me. On that note, why, envoy? What right, you...
Stop right there!
We should go now. While the fight has died down.
Can you not hear the screaming outside?
We can't go now.
Who's there? Aha!
Oh, big mistake!
Let me out!
Nice shot!
your submission. Stand against her and fall!
That's Ludwig ahead. Lead on. I'm with you to the end.
Let's make sure she stays dead this time. All right, dearie.
There you are! So, you survived the garden. Did you come all this way just to try your luck again? To kill me more efficiently than last time? You'll get your chance.
Then what are you waiting for?
Look around, Envoy. Heelguard should have listened. He tried to bring order through compromise. He failed. Order is meant to be imposed by a stern, guiding hand.
You can tell Wodaka yourself once we've sent you back to the wheel.
Don't insult my intelligence or my commitment to the cause. Treaties can be burned. The hands which shook over whatever deal you struck can be lopped off at the wrist. As for you, Sapadal may be gone, but their offspring remains. And I cannot suffer even a remnant to live. Congratulations on being the last of your kind. At least Sapadal cannot trouble us with another godlike. Their lineage ends here. Steel yourself, Envoy. Make this a fight to remember, even in death. You really believe you can kill me? Do it then. Kill me as no one ever has. Hold nothing back. Give it your all, and destroy me.
Let's finish this. Together.
You won't be missed, Ludwig.
You showed such promise, What a shame it had to end. This is what we prepared. Whoa! Queen of all queens! Send me your aid! And it worth it.
Let me now! This is it! Get her now!
Wherever Ludwine is now, she must be seething.
Of course, we'd be happy to kill her again, if needed.
She's done for, but we're not. Whatever's next, we'll face it. Together.
Gods, you're all gonna make me sick. But carry on.
Silence falls over Paradis, as though the city is holding its breath. Then you hear it, the ringing of a distant bell, the waving of banners, and cheers of victory. After a short and bloody conflict, the dust has finally begun to settle. There is an absence in your thoughts where Sapadal dwelled. Once, the god of the living lands would have flinched at this rare moment of tranquility. Instead, they are one with the silence. The Paradis militia rallies to you, the outsider who defended them in their hour of need. Whatever happens next, you have won their confidence. You take a moment to reflect on the calm. Not so long ago, you arrived at these shores on a simple errand, which turned out to be anything but simple. The Dream Scourge is over, and the island has been cleansed of plague. A time of healing and mourning follows. People look to you for answers about the source of the affliction. You tell them the truth, how the origin of the plague has been destroyed, put out of its misery, and leave it at that. Thanks to you, the Living Lands has escaped Adiran oppression. The free settlements unite under a common banner and begin the fraught process of negotiating new traditions and values. The Empire withdraws. The frontier remains wild, but not for long. Fugitives no more. The rebels of Paradis return to their home and to other free settlements, bringing their skills and secrets wherever needed. For once, they have a future. The refugees of Emerald Stair resettle in Thirdborn, bringing their skills and research to aid the local community. What starts as an uneasy partnership blossoms into a bond of trust. Through shared adversity, they find common ground. The ashes of Fior Messiverno continue to smolder. Scavengers avoid the ruins, fearful of spirits unleashed by animancy gone awry. The once promising city is nothing but a cautionary tale. For the people of Shatterscarp, independence is bittersweet. Those who cannot withstand the grief inflicted by Ringgrim's spell leave the settlements, vanishing into the wilderness. Those who remain find themselves forced to cooperate with others, often begrudgingly. With so many dead, the need to stave off hunger outweighs any distaste for certain trading partners. Solace Keep clings to its long-held isolation at first. But after mourning her friend Kostya, Mihala reluctantly deigns to open the doors of the fortress. Some dwarves greet newcomers with glee. Others still mutter darkly about outsiders. Mihala flounders in her earliest negotiations with the rest of the Living Lands, but slowly learns compromise. She develops a taste for Valian sweets. When Kai returns to Thirdborn, he's no longer running. He finds a town that's been diminished by struggle, conflict and tragedy, he finds home. He helps repair Thirdborn's walls and train its defenders, carrying on Tama's legacy. And while his labors do not restore all that was lost, they build something new. With his travels alongside the envoy complete, Marius is left directionless once again. Rather than disappearing into his cups, however, Marius leans on his time among his companions to give him the strength to re-enter society and find comfort in civilization. He establishes a route between Paradis and Thirdborn, guiding travelers between the two in return for money and supplies. And while he has a reputation for being aloof, he joins the campfires from time to time, sharing stories of his time with the envoy that most travelers believe are completely made up. Giada learned much in your time together. How to stand up to authority, how to face the unknown, and how to move on from the past. But her family's unfinished work weighs heavily on her soul. Her inheritance is the burden of achieving the impossible. Such is the life of an animancer. At least now she has the right tools for the job, and new friends to help her through hard times. No longer under the threat of imminent death, Yardsley returns to the Animancers. Reunited with her beloved Quilici, she helps him and the Animancers as they put their lives together after the attack on Fior Messiverno. Eventually, she even has something nice to say to Vidaro. As the days pass in contentment and relative peace, Yardsley is struck by the persistent feeling that something is missing. Though she still devotes herself to her studies of both the arcane and the godless, the restlessness never goes away. Alone in your thoughts, you feel endless opportunities stretching out before you. This is the freedom Sapadal never had. You promise to cherish it. The sounds of celebration pull you out of reverie. Many are waiting to greet you with open arms. You take a moment to catch your breath and savor it, because everything is about to change.